and what we're seeing now is that there's going to be an even more change in the upcoming 10 years that we need to respond to.
Yeah, so some of those major changes around our natural resources will be under a lot more pressure, in particular water quality, the allocation and use of our water, and also our coastal marine areas. We'll also have a lot of Auckland's growth spilling over to the north of the Waikato, which also puts a lot more pressure on our natural resources. And our rural towns will see a decline in their populations, and particularly the younger portion of those rural towns. And probably the last major change is that the Waikato Expressway, that the road between the Waikato and Auckland, will be complete, which means it's a lot easier to get between Auckland and the Waikato, but we also know that Auckland's growth is going to put a lot of pressure on that transport link as well, so we really need to respond well to these changes.
So we're actually proposing quite a lot of new work. One of the most significant pieces of new work is a regional development fund. It's something that we want to hear a lot from the public about. The Regional Development Fund will allow us to respond financially to regional scale projects. These may be, for example, cycleways, because every year we get requests to fund cycleways, infrastructure, projects, events and so on. And we've tended to do that in a very ad hoc basis. Now we're looking at establishing a fund from a portion of our investment fund that will allow us to respond to those requests of things that are going to have regional-wide significance. Well, water quality remains one of Waikato's key focuses and will do for the life of the long-term plan. We're actually doing quite a lot of work in various parts of the region, in particular around the Waikato and Waipa rivers going forward.
And we need to acknowledge that there's been a lot of improvements by particularly our large industrial sites and towns to improve water quality through their point source discharges. So the main focus going forward is around improving land use impacts on water quality, and particularly farming. And that requires both a policy response in terms of our major project called Healthy Rivers Waiora, but also better catchment planning, so that if we're going to invest in catchments that do impact on water quality, we do it in a way that we get best bang for the buck and a prioritised approach.
And the really good thing about that is more and more we're working in partnership with the community, so we're having joint funded and joint designed projects in the Waikato, which is awesome.
And co-governance is a really important part of that too with our iwi partners. So all the iwi along the Waikato and Waipa rivers are part of that project, and it's around co-governance decision making, recognising that the rivers are a taonga for our iwi. So our coastal marine areas make up 1/3 of the Waikato, so they're a large part of our region and an important part of our recreation and economy. So we really need to be proactive in that space, so we're spending a lot more money understanding our coastal marine area, what pressures they face, and therefore having an informed response to those pressures.